Hi everyone, welcome to another podcast of A Cosmic Conversation with me, Marie.
And me, Tina.
Being a location podcast, we are today in my living room in my village.
With a panting dog.
With a panting dog and a couple of dogs that are very much asleep. So, we're going to get on today, and what are we going to talk about today?
Right, today we're going to talk about contacting aliens, but on a personal level, which is now known as CE5. This is a phrase that was invented by Dr. Stephen Greer, and he founded CSETI, the Centre for Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, and the now very famous Disclosure Project, which basically outs everything and makes everything that was secret public.
So he's quite an important person, isn't he?
Yeah, so CSETI is different from SETI. So SETI, S-E-T-I, is a separate organisation which is Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
Right.
Now, the difference between the two is SETI use electromagnetic signal.
Yeah.
So they go out into space and try and pick up any signals. But I think that's flawed because you're using like man-made equipment sending out signals, and we sent something into space. We've sent a few things into space, but like NASA have sent like a record and things from a certain time, and they sent it. I think they sent it in a capsule or something.
I was going to say a time capsule.
Yeah, floating out in space somewhere.
But what you're saying is, I think they use meters. I think they're called field or trifold meters.
Right.
And the model that Stephen Greer was talking about once was a 100. If anybody's interested, 100 XE model, and he was saying, it picks up certain frequencies.
Yeah.
But he said if you're around things like TVs, cars, and things like that, that's got a magnetic field, so you'll get false.
Yeah, so SETI, they use electromagnetic radiation to transmit, which includes like TV, lasers, phones and so forth. So they're scanning for electromagnetic signal in space. And I think if you're really going to, on a personal level, contact aliens, or, you can even go into like angels, and they're still ETs, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be telepathy that's going to be the advancement in contact.
With you mean from humans, you mean?
Yeah, from human to alien and vice versa.
Yeah, because that's already been spoken about, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the interdimensional beings, if they're that advanced, they're not going to come here and speak English, are they?
No, but maybe they're that advanced that they do have their own language, but to communicate with us, they've learnt our language.
But we've got a million languages.
Yeah, but you think I'm focusing on English, what we're talking, but I mean, they're that advanced. Whoever's contacting them, if you were Chinese or Portuguese, maybe they can talk to us.
I think still it would be telepathy.
Yeah, through telepathy.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah,
but
you understand what I'm saying?
It's not the spoken language when it's in telepathy. It's like contacting, when we've done, contacting the dead.
Yeah.
Like I see, as a clairvoyant, you see images, pictures,
smells.
And it's all those things that you may get. Now, this CE5 is an app you can buy, and then it teaches you how to meditate if you can't meditate. There's some really good things on it. And do the actual CE5, which is a meditation, to contact the aliens.
And he does a camp, doesn't he? I shouldn't call it a camp. People go and visit a certain place, isn't it, somewhere in America?
Yeah.
And they like a retreat.
Yeah.
And it's about a week, isn't it?
Oh,
and you learn. I know. I told you this earlier, didn't I? It's something I would. Oh God! If anybody wants to get in touch with Stephen Greer and say, take Marie and Tina there so we can report on it.
Yeah.
But no, really, they go, don't they? And they learn on a daily basis different ways or building up to a certain moment, and they sit in a circle.
Yeah.
And from what people have said is that connection between them all has a higher vibration, which...
It's nice to do it in a group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
I've only ever had the chance to do it on my own.
Yeah. And that's something that we're going to change, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
You're going to go somewhere one day and we're going to do this, aren't we?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you would be using like your third eye,
Yeah.
which we spoke about in a past podcast.
Yeah.
You know, which you need to do in meditation. So it is more of a
Yeah,
telepathic.
not everybody knows how to do all that. So that app,
No.
I think, from what I've
I think it's
seen...
only like a £5,
Yeah.
£5 to us Brits. I don't know what it is.
Sterling,
Dollars.
yeah. But it actually gives you information. It's not a teaser. It's a full-on
Oh, yes.
situation, isn't it? That app is full-on.
Yeah, and it will show you anyone else in your area, so you could join a group or make a group that's got the app as well, so that you can do it together, which is great.
Which I'm always on about, and when we've done the podcast in the past, I've always said, get in touch with a group or people like-minded if you need to advance on the subject that we've spoken about before.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't see anything on the CE5 meditation,
Right.
and you've got to make sure you're in the right mind, and it's not about ego and, you know,
The
like Stephen
intentions,
says,
again, what we
what's
spoke
in
about.
it for me. It's
Yeah.
not about that, you know. It's
Yeah.
about emitting peace and bringing peace to the planet and helping this planet. And you might not see anything on the night. You might even get a visitation
Yeah.
after. Could be a day later, could be a couple of days later. You might get an image of what they look like in your head, which I've had. I've seen, I mean, we live in North Cyprus, obviously. We've got beautiful clear skies, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, and no light pollution, certain places. It's complete darkness. It's beautiful. It's a perfect place to do it.
When you're driving along, it really, really catches your eye. You just, whoa, I'm driving at night. And you're seeing all these things, you know, the so clearly. The stars, the shooting stars, the lightning is incredible.
I think the downside is there's so much crap up in the sky. There's so many satellites that, you know, if you've done the meditation and then you open your eyes and you stay to look at the sky, which most people do, I would stay for a few hours or till dawn even. We see loads of shooting stars, but there are satellites and you've got to know the difference.
That's what I've seen a bit of a lecture what Stephen Greer did, and he said you have to get a lot more information, study a little bit more, because you may be seeing quite natural phenomenons.
Yeah.
You know, natural things that are happening. And he's open to the fact, from what I can gather by watching it, is he's saying that you may see something going across the sky, but that could be governmental, you know?
Yeah.
It could be something to do, you know, like false flags, so to speak.
Like he says, if it's got nuts and bolts
That's
on
the
it,
one, yeah.
it's government.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they would have interdimensional craft, not the government, real aliens.
Yeah.
Would have interdimensional craft which wouldn't have nuts and bolts. It would go in and out of existence, literally. And that's why when people do see UFOs, they're quiet and they sort of appear and then they disappear, because they're going in and out of dimensions.
They have, what isn't it? It's the speed of light, isn't it, really? They know how to navigate that, to go in and out and come backwards and forwards, to be honest
and I
with you.
think it's not an overnight thing. This CI5, I said it again. CI5, I always say that. This CE5, I think, will take time and patience to get results.
Yeah, I'm absolutely agree, because there's things we've talked about, like the meditations, we've continuously said, this is not something that you may do once and, it didn't work.
Yeah,
This is about, if you're passionate, if you're listening to this and you're passionate about learning, you can't just go and make a bowl, a wood turner, can you? You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't do it straight away. You've got to learn skills.
Yeah, this
to
is
make,
like making
pottery or, you know.
a shift in your consciousness. You know, like I said about the affirmations and money, which I have done now, and I feel different.
Oh God, yeah.
You know,
things are changing.
They have
yeah.
for us, haven't they?
Yeah.
So this is the same type of thing. It's a shift in consciousness. And remember that we are all a singular consciousness living our individual lives.
And we all are not open as others may be. That's why it's a bit of a struggle, isn't it?
Yeah, and we all have to emit peace and love. I know it sounds a bit hippie, but that's exactly what we have to do to develop.
Yeah,
you know?
that isn't easy for a lot of people though, is it?
No, it's not, because there's so much crap that goes on in the world. But it is about being positive and love.
Yeah. If only you could take a group of people who are, I wouldn't say non-believers, but haven't been exposed to this consciousness before. Just take them out of like 9-to-5 jobs or things like that, and just, you know, because people have to go, they're thinking, oh, I've got to pay the bills and all that. And when you get this consciousness, when you get this positive consciousness, you're not going to go, I ain't going to pay the bill. What you're going to do is you go, right, I'm going to learn how to navigate how I can do things in life. Would you say it gives you a bit more confidence to deal with life?
What, by doing CE5 or meditation?
Both, actually. Like meditation more than anything, but
it would change your life.
Yeah.
Once you started doing it and you start seeing and believing that there's more to life than this tiny little planet.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
You know, you see the bigger picture. When you look at the government, and we're saying about these, you know, nuts and bolts, they've got their own agenda. And obviously they've got the technology that they've stole because they've shot them down. And you see them, that's why there's, I suppose, a lot that goes around that Area 51 flying around that are government craft.
Yeah.
Because they're using that technology. You know, and they also apparently get the ump because of what Stephen Greer's doing, and they think we need to have permission to talk to these aliens.
Right.
Like,
oh, hang on. The control thing is coming back.
They've got the right, and we haven't.
Yeah.
No. And we have to tell them, these aliens, that we're not hostile, again, admitting peace and love. And we are not part of those organisations.
Is this on an individual basis that we have to tell them? Because if they're that far advanced and they look at our planet, they're going to go, well, is that person okay? There's lots of violence.
Well,
they
are,
you know, hate towards each other.
And it is dangerous for them to come here and enter the 3D world, because then they can get shot down.
Yeah.
Also, then when you're doing it, you have to make sure that they know that, you know, they need to be safe if they are going to come and visit. And you do invite them down. So you would meditate. Remember when we was talking about the Merkaba last week, was it?
Yeah.
And I watched a Stephen Greer video that we both watched, actually.
Yeah,
and then he spoke about the Merkaba. So there you are, looking up that Merkaba. It's what we said. It's an interdimensional travel vehicle that you can use
3D into 5D. Do you remember?
To go into space and look for them. So we are going to do our own CE5 guided meditation,
which we will put on the podcast.
Yeah, and we will put on our other channel, A Cosmic Vibe.
Yeah, our sister channel.
Yeah. So look out for that. We're going to be doing our own one.
So talking of Dr. Stephen Greer, he does that camp. I keep saying a camp, but maybe a retreat or group. So I've got a dog coughing at the side of me. Oh, the dog's all right. The dog's okay. So, yeah, I was on about this retreat place. Do you know of anywhere in the world that does that apart from...
No, but it's all over the world because people are starting up their own groups.
Right.
Which is why it's good to join this app, unless you can physically, you know, you can have Facebook groups and stuff, can't you?
Yeah.
For your area. I'd like to get some people together here because I think the more the merrier. As in, you're emitting more.
Yeah.
You know, the energy field is going to
that's
be
what I was saying earlier,
bigger
wasn't it?
with
Yeah.
more people than rather one. If you do meet any aliens up there, you would zoom down like you would like when you're using Google Earth, innit?
Yeah.
To show them your
I
location.
think we should have a word with our meditation group.
Yeah.
See if anybody wants to.
And I think it would
join
be
in
nice
on
of a
that.
night.
Yeah.
Definitely of a night thing.
Yeah, and that's something we need to record and share with people.
Yeah.
Our experience.
Yeah. Personally, I have done it a couple of times. I've done it on the land, but I've had barking dogs, but I have seen stuff, and I've seen. Okay, first time I looked up, and oh, that's a satellite, because it's like waving around but going in a straight line across the sky. But then I saw something that sort of came down, danced around, and then shot up very, very quickly, which to me was, at that speed, it was nothing of this earth. And then another time I actually saw a physical, well, not physical, you know, like a see-through, transparent, coloured, diamondy thing.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you say you saw that once? I've seen it in my head, but I've also seen it physically in front of me on the land in the dark as like a coloured, diamond shapey thing.
I've just learned about the Pujar table.
Oh yes, that was on the video, wasn't it?
Well,
who was that?
Shall I say?
Who was
I'm just going to let everybody know. Right, there's a fantastic documentary movie. It's called Contact: The CE5 Experience full movie, and it's on the Unidentified channel on YouTube. Go and check it out because it will give you so much information.
It was good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It really sparked. That's what made me want to go. I want to go there.
Because there's lots of other things and there's lots of tools that they use.
Yeah. So this Pujar table then. I gather from what I saw, there was a picture that they put on there.
It looked like a little shrine, didn't it?
Yeah, I said that, didn't I? I didn't want to be rude
Yeah.
and say a shrine, but...
everyone can do their own thing.
Oh, there was a bit of fruit.
Yeah.
There was a bit of fruit.
See, I do that for the fairies. I put out honey and bread.
Oh, you said bread and honey? Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, so there was flowers, incense.
Yeah, that's always good.
It's a Sanskrit ceremony table.
That's it, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And the Sanskrit, he uses I'm Nama, and that's it. And he says, like, you do it 3 times, and that the vibration of that makes the tetrahedron the first triangle of the Merkaba.
Coming back,
And then you do it again for the upside down triangle. Join. So if you're not sure what a Merkaba is, look up Merkaba
or listen to our last podcast.
Yeah, and tetrahedrons.
Yeah.
So that you know.
Very interesting.
Yeah, what we're talking about.
They use tones.
Fibonacci sequence.
Right. Was it lasers?
Yes, lasers, literally lasers that we used to have as a kid. And
Yeah.
I'm sure someone said, oh, they banned them because a plane crashed when I was a kid. They used to say
But they
that.
did. I think they brought down a helicopter or something.
Really?
Yeah, it caused some damage.
But I've seen them here. The casinos have them, didn't they? And they do go right up into the sky. So
yeah.
I don't know how far up they actually... You know, you could actually see one.
Like
Could you see one from space?
Lights, lasers, that kind of thing. And your consciousness. You know what I mean? Your consciousness.
That's the most important thing of all.
Yeah, I mean, you send the intention out.
Yeah.
And as a group, that would be more powerful, I suppose. And it's an enlightenment of peace.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's just... You know what? Sometimes I look at things maybe too simplistically, but it's like going, all right, I'm okay. How are you?
Yeah.
How are you? How are you doing? And that's it. I know that sounds like somebody who might be into, like, deeply into it, or like yourself, might think that's a bit simplistic. But I think sometimes you need to say, with all this enlightenment, consciousness, and all the, these words, these big words. It's basically you are opening yourself up. Your intent is to give goodness, peace, welcoming.
Yeah. It's every type of person.
Yeah.
From bricklayers to surgeons.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's a good way sometimes of putting it if you have not heard all these words before. Because it isn't something that everybody knows. And I'm always conscious of that.
I mean, years ago, when I was younger, before I'd ever heard of CE5, see, I said it right then.
Good for you, mate.
Yeah. I'd been doing meditation for years and years and been speaking to aliens already.
Yeah.
Whatever they...
Oh,
the
my
word
shift.
alien, I don't like the word alien, but it's just like entities not of this earth or outside of this dimension.
Yeah, and he was saying as also, which I was, it was a bit of breath of fresh air. He was saying that no, you may not, come, let's say face to face or communicate with an ET. You may be communicating if you're on a certain piece of land of somebody that may have lived there before. He was talking about
Ancestors,
or your relatives want to talk to you and they're coming through. So it isn't always, extraterrestrial.
No.
But, we call this CE5.
Yeah.
What then is the difference between, so you would say Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind?
Yeah.
What is it, the big film that everybody's probably, most people have seen, Close Encounters of the Third Kind? What's the difference?
Yeah, well, it moves up, don't it?
Yeah, what's the third kind? Is that because in that film they did actually meet people? Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think the fifth kind is like a personal, direct contact.
Right, okay. Yeah. And you keep using the word personal, and I really think that's the key.
Personal experience,
yeah. It's a key word.
Even in a group, if you're doing a group, you might physically all see something together.
Yeah.
Or you might see something in your head, in your mind.
My
that
thing,
others might not.
I mean, you've given me more tools to be able. I think I was always open, just didn't know how to get there. And the minute it started to shift for me was when that day I was asleep, night, and I heard my name. I felt something come straight. I was asleep.
Yeah.
And I felt something come towards my head.
Yeah.
As if somebody's going to wake you up, but they went, Marie!
And
like
that is contact.
Yeah.
That is direct contact.
And my experiences now it's a bit scary sometimes, is when I'm, I would say maybe between the state of awake and asleep, or sometimes just when I close my eyes, is faces.
Yeah, but
coming to me.
Like attracts like. So if you have good intentions and you are pure of heart, and yes, hippie bit, but love, then that's all you will emit and bring back to you. So
but
it's
I
not
have
allowing anything negative in. When I've done like other stuff.
When I said scary, I didn't mean anything was coming at me when I closed my eyes and those images, like clouds form into faces and things like. That's the scary bit. What I'm saying is it has never happened to me before. So I think when something happens to you and your consciousness shifts and things like that, it maybe I'm using the wrong word. Scary.
I think it's more like adrenaline.
Excitement. I was going, wow. Yeah, because there was people's faces changing from one to another. There was people coming in and smiling, but it was like as if they were coming into my face.
Yeah, that's.
And
cool.
some were being bigger, and some were in the background, not waving like behind them, but like there were smaller images. Then there was bigger images coming in. Jesus, and I was awake. And I just kept my eyes closed for as long as I could. I'm going to use the word scary, because if all of a sudden you have never experienced...
Well, that's the fear of the unknown.
Yes, but it's not scary as in it's hurting me or I feel unsafe. Afraid. But as it went on, right, I wonder who that is. And I have seen faces. I mean, these faces... I ain't got a clue who they are.
Yeah, I had that at the beginning.
I ain't got a clue, but I'm hoping one day that I will see somebody I know.
But right from the beginning, I saw a lady in my head, like you say, and that that alpha state when you're half awake, half asleep, innit? And I believed she died, but she kept saying over and over there should have been, I think there should have been 9 steps, but there was 10.
Oh, yes, I remember you telling me, yeah.
And it was like, I think she tripped, fell down the stairs and died. She must have been a 90. She looked really, really old and must have been sort of stuck in that thing where she, didn't realise she was dead, or she just crossed over into that bardo state that we spoke about in another podcast, didn't we?
Mm.
And I could see her clear, like in my head, and she was like really upset and angry. And she's like, there should have been 9 steps, but there was 10. Yeah. And basically, I thought she's miscounted her steps because she'd sounded like she had dementia.
Oh, as if, I'll get you.
Miscounted and then
miscounted, yeah.
So she was
Mad at
either going
herself.
up the stairs.
Oh,
Maybe she was going up the stairs because of getting up to the top and then miscounted and then fell back.
Or, like you say, going down.
But then
and
going down,
miscounted.
if she would have counted, she would have been at the bottom, wouldn't she? So.
No, but if there was 10, she would have been 2 off the bottom and 1 off the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
But the point being is, this CE5, that can happen.
Doesn't have to happen on the night, like as soon as you wake up from meditation.
Yeah.
You might, if you invite them down, you might see lights in the sky. You might see a figure.
Orbs.
Yeah, orbs, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was pictures, weren't there, on this documentary that I'll mention again on the Unidentified channel called the CE5 Experience, full movie, that there was pictures of that, let me call it a shrine, or the puja table, and there was lights, weren't there? So I think you can safely say that you are going to have an experience of some kind, aren't you?
And the more you do it, the more you will.
And I think the more you do it, don't you think, like I made the analogy of making a wooden bowl or a pottery bowl or something like that, the more you do it, the more skilled you get at sort of picking out, no, that was a balloon. No, seriously, that was a balloon in the sky. We saw, oh no, in the distance it was a car that was going past.
Yeah.
You can specifically narrow it down. Oh, tonight, no, we didn't have the opportunity to connect. And then on another night you go, do you know, that isn't a car. You know what I mean? That is going across there, that's going behind, now that's further up in the sky. And I think the more you do it, the more you home in on your skills.
Yeah, I do a lot of stargazing and I'm familiar with our mountains because I'm always looking.
Yeah,
so
particular one that I like, in the distance.
I can't wait to go out with you now.
No, a bit forward, isn't it? But I know what you mean, not going out and doing that. I mean, we've got to get a tent, haven't we?
Yeah.
Got to get a tent.
And some blankets.
Yeah, some blankets. But you might think that we're having a laugh here. We've got to get a tent and everything. No. We want to go equipped. So we can actually stay there as long as we can.
Yeah. Always take like a hot flask of drinks, so especially if it's a cold night.
Well, while we're recording this, we're coming into the winter, aren't we?
Yeah.
Here.
Which I think for us is safer because obviously we've got snakes, venomous snakes here, haven't we?
Yeah.
And other
our
creatures.
Environment's different. Yeah.
So winter, everything hibernates, which is safer.
Yeah.
If you're going.
That's what I'm saying. I think we should do it now,
definitely.
And we'll do it as quick as we can and report back to you. And like I say, we might. Do you fancy, like we're talking now, right? Do you fancy just us doing it, and then for me to get that more of an experience, and then when we get together with our meditation group, we can be a force to be reckoned with, like with our experiences, and help others. People sometimes do not come out the woodwork, do they? Because I think there's ridicule. I do.
Well, here you've got religion. There's a lot of. It's a religious country.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Beautiful
so you do
country.
have to be
but
careful.
There's a lot of people, that I think have to keep it on the quiet.
Yeah.
Find that bunch of people. Go to that cafe. Go to that coffee bar. The one in that's all hippified. I don't know, but I'm just trying to say, if you're
Connect
on
with
your
the
own,
like-minded people.
exactly. If you know, for those of you who are new to the channel, where you been, and for those who have been following us, you'll hear me say it all the time. Just get involved, because I would not have done this on my own. I mean, got as far as I have without your support. I already knew things, didn't I? But I just didn't know how to home it in, how to use that power.
Yeah.
The personal power, I'd say, not power to rule the world. I mean, the personal power, the opening up.
And it should be natural to us.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
You just need somebody to like the touch paper, that's all. Have you got anything else, my friend?
No, I just can't wait to get out there now.
All right, so today has been brought to you in conjunction with TRNC.
Animal Rescue Family.
Which you can donate to help feed the animals. Poor our horse has gone now, but the dogs, to feed them, and the vet bills. So if you'd like to make a donation,
it's PayPal SOSDogs2017 @outlook.com.
Thank you so much, guys, and see you on the next podcast. Bye.
Bye.